Today is October 13th, also known as International Day for Failure. It is also my birthday. I turned 21 today. This year has been the worst year of my life, and if that resonates with you, I get it. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Rotogi. I draw, sing, and play games with my idiot friends. I'm making this video as a way to document my failures, and hopefully, to move on to greater things. If you've been feeling discouraged lately, or just want something to listen to in the background, please stay for a bit. Rambling isn't fun without an audience. Some context for those who don't know me, I'm working on an indie animated series called Wondercord. The idea came to me back when I was 17 and working as a hotel housekeeper. It was the summer before college, and I had no clue what I wanted to do with my life. All I knew was that I wanted to be big. You'd think, that's great. Maybe even relatable, if you're an aspiring content creator. But let me tell you, this stuff is hard. I've been working on various projects for years, learning how to become more self-sustainable as an artist could be. Things, despite my efforts to learn everything on my own, I had to rely on someone else. A teacher, a team, or even a friend for support. And that's a scary thing to me. Artists don't share their work carelessly. If you can't do something on your own, then you better break out the wallet. I personally don't have the money to afford an animated series. I did the math, and if I were to hire a second animator to do half of an episode, our team could be looking at an additional $19,000 per episode. And there are about 12 planned episodes at the time. Spoiler alert. So, suffice to say, I've been scraping by to draw Wondercord on my own as a full-time college student. I really couldn't have gotten this far without friends and volunteers, but that isn't sustainable in the long run. If someone is providing free work, they can stop at any time, which has happened. And each time it does, it sets the team back significantly, both in workload and morale. Team troubles aren't an exclusive experience, though. Markiplier's experience with Iron Lung comes to mind as the best way to put it for people who aren't in the field. In his words,
then what you end up with is, a lot of people with their own lives, their own schedules, their own egos, their own problems, and all of them have sometimes interpersonal problems working with each other. When you're making a movie, it's a lot of people management.
If that sounds overwhelming, it's because it is. But to me, it's worth it. Being able to join hands with my team when all is said and done, and to celebrate the success together, feels a lot more fulfilling than saying I did it alone. And trust me, they don't call it development hell for no reason. It's tough to say when development even started for my team. We think it's about 3 years ago on November 8th of 2022. And that isn't super long ago for an animated series, but dealing with anything on the financial side feels like hell. So for the sake of complaining at this time, we'll just call it development hell. Throughout Wondercord's development hell, I have applied for countless funding opportunities to try and get the studio off the ground. I applied for my first scholarship in April of 2022, before Wondercord was even my career plan. I wanted to merge the two fields I was interested in at the time, which was art therapy and character art. I hoped to create a unique field where people could create meaningful characters that would help play out stories for coping. These were the pieces that I sent in for my application, which was rejected without explanation. This was my first rejection in a long journey of rejections. My second one was for a graphic design job on campus of November 2022. My friend helped me organize a portfolio since I never made one. It was made on Google Slides. It sucked. These were the applications I applied with, and I was rejected from the job simply because I wasn't an art major. They liked my work. They just rejected me because I was a psychology major at the time. February of 2023, I applied for a collective scholarship with my new major. Basically, what this means is when you submit a form, you're applying for several scholarships at the same time, and you needed a few things to complete the application, which was an essay, a portfolio, and a letter of recommendation from a professor. My scholarship application never went through because my professor never submitted a letter of recommendation. I bugged her maybe about 3 or 4 times, and I think maybe she just got bored of hearing from me. I don't really know what happened there, but never went through. Bummer. In July of 2024, I won my first scholarship. At first, I did not know how to feel. I actually thought it was a mistake at first, so I was waiting for the apology email. Please disregard this email which was sent by our office. This email was sent in error. I actually received an email like that from a different department in March of the same year, so I thought it happened again. But as time passed, I realized it wasn't a joke. And for the first time, my efforts felt seen by somebody with the power to change my life. Not to sound dramatic. With newfound confidence, in December 2024, I participated in an elevator pitch competition. If you've never heard of an elevator pitch, imagine you're in an elevator with somebody who has the money to give you everything you want. But you only have 2 minutes, which is the length of an elevator trip in this theoretical situation, to sell your idea to them. I applied and was brought in to participate in a Zoom call as a finalist. I don't practice my speeches out of fear of misremembering and slipping up, but I practiced this pitch for hours. I had dozens of eyes to peer review it. I read it aloud to my friends, I drove 20 minutes to my office, and then I walked an additional 20 minutes in the snow because I don't pay for parking. And I made sure there were no chances of dogs barking in the background or my parents interrupting me. I did not win. I was not given a reason. I can only assume it was because investors would deem it too ambitious or niche to fund. Although devastated and confused without explanation, I spent the rest of my year focusing on the final stretch months of my second semester. In April of 2025, I applied to the same scholarship I started with. They reached out to me with the opportunity, and thinking I might be able to turn my first failure into a success story, I applied. I had spent the time between December to April building up a portfolio and working closely with my professors to create projects that would help me stand out. I was rejected once again, given no explanation. And these were the works I submitted to my application. These works were possibly the best I had at the time. I still think they're very good, and it really disappoints me that I still don't know why. I don't know why for any of these, actually. In April of 2025, I applied to a graphic design job for the biggest student organization on the campus. With summer around the corner, I figured a second job would be more viable to help with money for the upcoming year, and after being called in for an interview, I never received an acceptance or rejection email. I believe this is a common story in the job market. I hate employers for doing this. And my heart goes out to all of you who have experienced a similar story to this because it's so annoying. In May of 2025, I was rejected from a collective application for a presentation event I did in April. This one was a particularly devastating blow, as the scholarships were really the only reason I presented at the event. I was so confident that in the massive wave of scholarship applications I put in before my last year of university, that something would hit. In June of 2025, I was rejected from the last scholarship application I submitted, putting the final nail in the coffin. It was around this point that I was strongly considering giving up. I was experiencing troubles with team members, was going through financial stress, and now I had to accept that I was at the end of a journey where I applied to 21 scholarships collectively, and only one won. So, what was it all for then? I won't sit here and talk about empty optimism. That isn't really my brand. Some people will try hundreds of things that will never work. Some people become an instant success. Life might not be fair, but I didn't come this far to come this far. Even when I feel like giving up, I keep going because that's what I know how to do. If your heart is in the right place, that sort of feeling never really escapes you. Maybe you get it, maybe you don't. The point is, If you truly love what you do, there's no reason to quit, even when failure feels like the end. I've listed a lot of failures, but in those failures, there's a journey that I tend to overlook a lot. A journey of seemingly invisible growth. My accomplishments read like a list. I founded my high school's first art club, I led my team in esports, and I spent so much time busying myself with various activities in high school. But that list is just a list. It's not the stories behind everything. Between those accomplishments are stories of my art club fundraising over $1,000 for art supplies. I led our first esports team to the playoffs, jumpstarting the club for so many students who came after me. I even designed the shirts for my graduating class twice. In university, I helped fundraise for clubs, I created a mascot for the city newspaper, and I even won a state award for my comics. And now, I'm sitting here in my last year of university, and I feel obligated to do something even bigger when I've already done so much I never even considered. I might not have a lot of followers like I had dreamt of, but I made a positive change to the people around me. I've made people smile on terrible days, and if I had given up before, those moments would have never happened. I think about that often. If I stopped in February of 2023, I wouldn't have gotten my first scholarship. If I stopped in June of 2025, I wouldn't have been able to fund the event I'm hosting as part of a research program I'm doing now. Stopping at any part of this journey would have been the end of a rather boring story. I wasn't able to fund the series, so I canceled it. Maybe some days I doom scroll for hours, as if I didn't have the responsibility to work on a full animated series. Maybe some days I play games when I should really be working on homework instead of saving it to the last second. But at the end of the day, I'm just me, and I think it's fun to be me, success or failure. I started WonderChord as a way to figure things out. No matter what my dream job was, I always knew I wanted to use my voice to inspire others to do the right thing. What is the right thing? It's kind of hard to say, but I'll tell you, if you treat people with kindness and curiosity, it makes life a hell of a lot more enjoyable. Feeling loved gives people the strength to accomplish incredible things. I would know. So go tell your friends you love them. Message your family if they're still around. There are 2 months left of the year, so make somebody's day every day. Now that I've gotten it all out there, here's to a future full of success. Happy birthday, Rotogi.